Hi, welcome to Incredible Michaelites. It's webinar 17, and till now we have already done 16 webinars, and we have had 50 people, 50 Michaelites coming in on this platform. So today we have got another set of incredible Michaelites who are joining us. So we'll have Dr. Madhukar Sinha, 1977, Dr. Anant Sinha, 1977, and Dr. Manish Mandal, 1987. So we start with Madhukar Bhaiya. Madhukar Bhaiya uh, he is SRCC, University of Delhi Economics, Delhi School of Economics, and apart from railways, he has worked at Delhi Metro, New Delhi Municipal Corporation, Registrar of Corporates of Ministry of HRD, and Professor at IIFT. So, Madhukar Bhaiya, I'll start with you quickly on your professional achievement. We would like to know your role about the amendment as a Registrar of Copyrights, please.
See, first of all, thank you so much for giving me this platform. I feel so proud that I'm able to talk to so many of my schoolmates, some who were my contemporaries and some who were very senior, and some, of course, very junior. Yes, my on the Copyright Act's amendment, you see, the original Copyright Act was formulated in 1957, and the sixth round of amendments were planned in 2002. But over a period of 5 years, it took a very long time before we went into the first draft amendments, and these draft amendments were put in the public domain. Perhaps the first time a set of amendments to a law were put in the public domain, and public comments were invited. And then we had a whole lot of discussions with the stakeholders, and then the draft amendment was then put up to the parliament, to the government for approval. It was a very contentious kind of set of amendments. So it took a very long time. And finally, the amendments came through after the parliament passed them. A lot of support from the artists community led by Javed Akhtar. The amendments came through in 2012. So I was gone by that time from that location. But yes, it's a matter of pride for me that whatever I had drafted, about 95% of that went through.
Oh, fantastic. Super, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, I'll come back to you again on the professional part. I will go to Dr. Anant Sinha, AFMC, MS from RIMC, RIMS. Now it was Ranchi Medical College earlier, and then plastic surgery from PGI Chandigarh. Anand Bhaiya, he has got interest into cosmetic surgeries, cleft care, burns, trauma, and he was awarded as Jharkhand Ratan and Jharkhand Gaurav as well, which is a big pride to all Michaelites. Congratulations, Bhaiya. And he was also recognized by the Times of India for excellence in medicine in 2014, which is again fantastic. Bhaiya, will straight away come to you about, coming from AFMC and with so many things, you came back to Ranchi from Pune in 2001 and took this, and we'd like to know more about this.
Thank you very much. And Amber sir is joining us. Thank you very much, sir, for joining in again. It's very simple that if you are into a particular branch and if you can't help your own people, then the level of satisfaction remains to about 50% only. Whatever you have learned, you got to deliver to the people who need you more. I was in Pune before I moved into Ranchi. Well, I was doing a pretty good job attached to many hospitals. But then the speciality was needed in our town, tier 2 city also. And Ranchi had just broken away from the erstwhile Bihar, the new capital. So I moved in. It was against the wishes of all my family members, except my parents, who were very happy to see me back home. It clicked. If anything which clicks in life is a good story. So it's a good story now.
Very good, Bhaiya. Superb. So we are going to come back to you again because there is something we wanted to hear about your hospital part. So let us come back to you again, and we'll see. So straight away go to Dr. Manish Mandal. The biggest pride that he is in Patna currently, and he is the medical superintendent of the IGMS. Not only that, he is the youngest ever medical superintendent of IGMS or any government medical college in the country, which is a
Thank you.
fantastic achievement. And the youngest ever president of Indian Society of Gastro, Bihar chapter, has done first liver transplant at IGMS, which all
Perfect.
goes for a big clap. Congratulations, Bhaiya.
Thank you.
I will straight away come to you, and I want to. We all want to know about. We have all heard that you have recently operated a case, and which went to Guinness Book of World Record. So can you
Yeah.
please educate on that?
Yeah, normally world record is created if it is what done for the first time. We operated a young girl of 10 years who was having gallbladder cancer, and the report which was from Guinness Book was 13 years old. तो 13 साल की बच्ची सबसे पहले थी, और जो हम लोगों
Right.
ने किया वो 10 साल की बच्ची थी. So we
Fantastic.
have just operated last month, and we have submitted all papers, documents needed for it to the Guinness Book of World Record.
Oh, superb, yeah. And what are the new things you start at IGMS since you joined? Because you joined in 2001. So do you want to share a few things?
Yeah, at in 2001, I was a very junior person at that time. But as time evolved, I became the assistant professor, the associate professor, and then professor. In my tenure, I developed the department. I started advanced laparoscopic surgery at IGMS Patna, and then became the medical student. So I thought that Bihar doesn't have any transplant, no transplant program. So I discussed with all concerned, and then we started with eye transplant at Bihar. Our hospital started eye transplant for the first time in Bihar, and right now we have done more than 500 eye transplants in our hospital. Then we moved to kidney transplant. Kidney transplant was another leap in Bihar. No government sector or private sector had started it, and we started it. And at present, we have done 89 kidney transplant by now in last 2 years. Then
Superb.
the third thing was liver transplant. It was a big challenge because every transplant of liver takes about 18 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
So the government was shaky, but CM of Bihar was very much interested to start it at Bihar, and he had a long discussion with me, with the health department, with the our health minister, and then we created this program, the infrastructure, and with that we started, and we did two liver surgeries here. First was liver explant, in which the liver was extracted here, and heart was extracted here, and that liver was transplanted here, and heart was sent to Calcutta. So next day the newspaper told, Bihar ka dil dhadka Bengal mein. That was the
Yeah.
headline. And then the second liver transplant which we did was a very tough case. We lost that case anyway, but it was a good challenge for us because that patient was rejected from all over India,
Oh,
and that patient was desperate to get it done. And we had got a liver from a brain dead patient in our hospital, and as the transplant program goes, we have to tell it to the NOTO, that is National Organ Tissue Transplant Organization. So that organization told that this patient is needy most in India. So patient flew from Delhi to Patna, and we operated that patient here. Patient was very sick, very sick. He had come with private ambulance from Delhi to Patna. We operated that case, but as a challenge, as you know, in surgery, not every time you are successful. That was the second case, and we are shortly trying to garner the third case of liver transplant at Bihar.
fantastic. This is such a proud thing. Someone is doing so fantastically well in Patna, and we are all proud of you. And
Thank
that's
you.
what an incredible Michaelite is. So, Bhaiya, I'll
So,
come back to you again.
okay, sure.
I'll straight away go to Madhukar Bhaiya again. Madhukar Bhaiya, we would like to know about your railway stint as account service, because you have come from Indian Railways account service. You want to just hear about your railway stint first, before we'll come to you as a professor, what you have done with the IAFT.
Well, the traditional image of the accountant is this one, the pen behind the ear, and it remains almost the same. Only thing is that we have now computerized heavily. Railways are a highly computerized organization today. Our accounting is also highly computerized. We do a lot of things which probably even the private sector doesn't do. We have data analytics. We are adopting data analytics in a big way. And my journey started in 1989, in March of 1989. I've been posted in various places. I started with Howrah Division of Eastern Railway. Then I went to Mughal Sarai. Then from there, I went back to Eastern. Then I went on a series of deputations. Then I've been posted to Northern Railway, West Central Railway, and now I am at Hajipur in East Central Railway, where I'm heading the finance department. I report to the general manager of East Central Railway. It's been, excuse me, a very, very interesting journey. What I have tried to bring to my department is a kind of interactive feel with the rest of the departments, because you might be listening to lots of stories about railways being highly departmentalized and departments fighting with each other. Let me assure you that that is all bunk, that is nonsense. If departments were fighting with each other, trains would not run. Or trains going to Calcutta would turn up in Bhubaneswar, and the ones to Bhubaneswar going to Delhi, that kind of thing. It doesn't happen. Departments do not fight. They work together. And my job is just to ensure that the money flows in the right direction. That is all.
The finances part of railways, we heard the maximum when it was Lalu Yadav's regime, that too much money has come, too much profit to the railways and all. So anyways, I will not go to that part of it. And we would also like to know about your role as the professor at the IAFT and, the WTO thing which happened with the intellectual property rights.
Okay.
Can you share that as well?
Yeah. Well, you see, the government of India, through the Department of Commerce, had set up a think tank at the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, and we called it the Center for WTO Studies. At that point of time, I was perhaps the only government official who had the kind of exposure to IPRs that they wanted. So I joined there as a researcher, and I was given the rank of a professor, and providentially I was also doing my PhD from IIFT. So it helped that I was located there, and I completed my PhD also at IIFT itself. My role was essentially to render negotiating inputs to the government of India on intellectual property rights issues in the WTO. And not just the WTO, but also with all international negotiations that were taking place. And I also had other jurisdictions to look after, that is trade and services, trade and investment measures, and the government procurement agreement of the WTO. I was interfacing not with the WTO, but with the government of India, essentially. But I was giving them negotiating inputs. The WTO, in due course, started a regional trade policy course in India, based it at IIFT. So I was one of the resource persons, where I interacted with the resource persons from all over Asia Pacific, who came and trained government officials of Asia Pacific region. So I was one of the resource persons.
Fantastic. Superb. So I will again go to Anand Bhaiya. So Anand Bhaiya, it's very easy to, be at your comfort zone and work. But we have all learned you have got out of your comfort zone. You've got out of your specialization, and you're creating a state-of-art hospital in Ranchi. And we would like to not only know about it, but also the vision behind it, because it's a very, very social thinking. It's a thinking which can go to a generic and a general, the society as well. So would you like to educate on that as well, please?
See, normally a professional or a hardcore surgeon like me would avoid getting into the building and the other parts of the thing. But then, if you are working for somebody else, I think Manish also would agree with that, particularly if you're in the corporate sector, they do not really rate you on the quality of your work. They rate you on the quantity of what turns up on 31st of every month in their financial offices. So that was a big letdown. So we just thought we'll break away from that. I'm lucky I'm leading this whole pack in Jharkhand also. We've broken away. We've done our own small setups. If you have a small setup, if you get about 10 surgeries in a day, one of them is a needy one, he goes absolutely free of cost. It's very easy. It's difficult to convince a corporate head as to why I'm doing one surgery free of cost. For them, everything is in return, something must come down from somewhere. Plus, we were pushed very hard by the new scheme by our Prime Minister, Modi ji, the Ayushman Bharat. It has not taken off very well in Bihar, but in Jharkhand, it's a big business now. You would be surprised that almost 40% of our load now is Ayushman Bharat. The rates are pretty low, but things are good. Very streamlined, it's completely on the net, and IT help is taken. Similarly, we realize that if we can have a better setup and we hire people who can run the hospital for us, instead, a corporate makes a hospital and hires you to run the setup. So the gap between you and the patient is decreased. There's a lesser miscommunication. You talk to the patient directly. Nobody comes in between. And the treatment, believe me, remains literally same or better because you are responsible for your own results. So we just thought, and I'm lucky that some of my bureaucrat friends here offered me that we have a land in the industrial area, which is earmarked for a hospital. Why don't you bid for it? We bid, we were successful. We are coming up with a 250-bed state-of-the-art hospital. And believe me, nobody would be turned back because of lack of funds from there. Ayushman Bharat and the other corporates are also backing me in that. We should be able to put up a good show. That's in Ranchi itself. Another one in Dhanbad I'm planning, and if things work out well with my colleagues in Patna, something in Patna also may crop up in the near future.
Great gesture, Via. Fantastic. Proud of you. We would also like to know, why did you choose plastic surgery as the specialty?
No offense meant to Manish sitting as another panelist on this group. Plastic surgery is perhaps the only branch where we work from head to toe. It's full of variety. Every day is something new to offered to you on the operation table or in your OPD. If you need a hair transplant, you got to come to us. You have a bad diabetic foot, you come to us. You have a crushed foot, we make the foot for you. Leg is gone, we make the leg for you. If you want to look better, want to make your noses properly, want to get dimples on the cheek, want to make a new ear, if ear has been cut off or burnt in some fire, we do all these. It's a very challenging branch. Every day is a new small challenges. Love that. No offense meant to anybody else, but I found my friends doing cardiac surgery, they usually get tired of what they've been doing almost every day. It's a very stressful job. Same with neurosurgery, but each may have his own stuff to work from head to toe. Variety, that's all.
Okay, so I'll come back to Manish Bhaiya again. So Manish Bhaiya, we all know that, in the current times of COVID all across, it was very tough, especially in Patna. We had seen a lot of people were junctioning outside the hospitals, and IGIMS almost became a hotspot for over 6 months. Now, as a medical superintendent, we would like to know, how did you handle this Corona period at the hospital and in Patna?
It was very challenging for me. First of all, to save myself. Second, to save all our professionals, our backup support of sanitary or security or paramedical staff, and then at the same time run the hospital. We divided our whole workforce in different groups so that every group works for a week and other group stays back, and there is one backup. It was very challenging because all the areas, people would come from every area of Bihar for super specialization. For many of them, very poor. and many of them having need of ICUs. So it was a great challenge. But one thing I learned, that corona doesn't harm anybody if you take proper precautions. And precaution doesn't mean that you have to have a PPE kit always. No, just face mask, gloves, and the mask should not be put off from your face. Because personally speaking, I have met at least 300 positive cases myself. That also in my MS chamber. Those who have come directly as a professional, as a doctor, as a paramedic to meet me and say that, Lee, you give me some holiday, you give me some rest, you give my family, get my family members tested. So only thing to save was mask. And another thing was, uh, treatment was evolving. Treatment was evolving. You had basics, plus you have some remdesivir kind of drugs, which was followed. Then came the plasma pheresis. We had our plasma machine in hospital, which was used maximum this corona phase. So it was very challenging. And at the same time, I had a very hard time. My parents became positive. My father is also a doctor, so he became positive. He had so many comorbidities, so I had to admit him, save him from corona, as well as save my family from corona. So really challenging, but it was good that we have learned many things.
Superb, yeah. It was a great effort. I must congratulate you personally because working in the Corona times and that too also in a hospital where you had loads of people lined up outside the hospital, and to manage them was not a small thing. So congrats again and proud of you. So before we go to our real incredible Michaelite stuff, which is the school part of it with Amber sir, I will just take the last question with Madhukar Bhaiya. We would also like to know, because currently you are in Patna oblique Hajipur. Obviously, you have almost come to your hometown for on a professional duty. So, how do you feel Patna during this stint, and what's your role professionally currently?
Um, we'll talk about the professional part later, but yes, Patna, let me tell you that the Patna of the 1970s was heavenly. It was great fun. And it was a bicycle-driven community of students. And I remember when the day that I'm going back to the school times, when Anant won the Students' Council election, he turned up at my place and he said, let's go and celebrate. So how did we celebrate? We went to Bharat Coffee House, and for something like 25 rupees, 7 of us had dosas to our hearts' fill. Then we went to Mahavir Sthan and we purchased some laddus, and we went around distributing all over Rajendra Nagar, all on bicycles, not on and triple riding or double riding. We were very young, we were very strong. And then somewhere along the way, while we were coming back, suddenly Anand said, how about visiting this young lady who was our classmate? And those days we could not really think about going to ladies' houses, young ladies' houses. Fear of being beaten up. And so I said, yes, why not? So Anant and I were doubling on one bike. So I just turned the bike into the house of that lady. And of course, we were ready to scramble away the moment there was some kind of resistance. As luck would have it, she was very gracious. She had the laddus that we offered to her. Fortunately, the parents weren't there. So we escaped without any injury, without any recrimination. So that was Patna. Patna was a lovely city. Patna is highly lumpenized, very crowded. And about a few years ago, let me say about 6-7 years ago, I'll just take half a minute more to recall one time that about 7 years ago, I was posted in Patna for a short while myself. And my good friend Arvind Singh, another incredible Michaelite, who's chairman of the Airports Authority of India, he dropped by and he said, let's go and do some pandal hopping. This was Durga Puja time. And would you believe it? Patna was less crowded in Durga Puja that year, the year 2013, than it was, let us say, in the 1970s. because it seems that it is a city of immigrants now, and all the immigrants, they go back to their respective native places. Patna is denuded of crowds, and we went hopping to all these beautiful places. Excuse me. So this was Patna Redux of 1970s for me. All those beautiful places that we normally used to visit. So quite nice it was. So yes, Patna has changed, but then every corner, every nook and every corner and every little shop has memories. Every area in certain parts of there is one specific area in Patliputra colony that Anant will bear me out, we used to call the fairyland, because fortunately all the good looking girls of our times, they used to stay in that part of the colony. So I took my son one day on a drive, and I said, you see, we used to call this area fairyland. And he looked at me, he's a Delhi boy now. So he looked at me and he said, what kind of chaps these guys are? I mean, imagine. So, yes, but Patna is home. Patna is home.
Fantastic. And how is Hajipur as a professional arena?
Not a very easy place to work in, the physical location wise. But you see, I have worked almost all over northern India and eastern India. People are nice, people are responsive, and they are more likely to show, there's an impression about Bihar that people are maybe violent, people are ignorant, and people are not very good to work with. That is all wrong. I really enjoy myself in Hajipur.
Fantastic. Super, Bhaiya. So I will come to the most creamiest part of the webinar. And without wasting a single minute, I'll have to throw the entire stone to Amber sir to take it on his own stride. The school stories part of St. Michael's with all the three doctors, Dr. Madhukar Sinha, Dr. Manish Mandal, and Dr. Anant Sinha. Obviously, Madhukar Bhaiya is a doctorate, it's a PhD doctor, but we all have doctors, and they're all the super specialists of the era of the school time. Over to you, Amber sir.
Thank you, Nishant. Thank you. Nishant is another incredible Mike Light who has incredibly started this initiative called the Incredible Mike Lights. Thank you so much. A hearty welcome to all the three of you, Dr. Madhukar Sinha, Dr. Anant Sinha, and Dr. Manish Mandal. Two of you are, my co-alumni, junior to me. I belong to the 1971 batch. That is the batch of Arvind Singh's elder brother, another incredible Mike Light, Arun Singh. And of course, Dr. Manish Mandal, yes. And Dr. Manish Mandal is my student. And I'm so proud and so blessed to have students like you, Dr. Manish Mandal, and including Mr. Nishant Daya. Okay, very hearty welcome. We'll go back to the childhood memories. But before that, I'll just, throw a quiz before you. It's a very friendly quiz. Okay? Somebody said, now who is this somebody is what you have to guess, or if you know, you have to answer. Somebody said, once in a while, bunk your classes, all right, and enjoy with your friends, because after all, in the end, your marks will not bring smiles on your face, but then the memories with your friends will definitely bring back lots of smiles and lots of nostalgia, as Dr. Madhukar Sinha just, was talking about. So who said this? I was also very surprised to know that it was the great who? Well, it was Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Yeah, and I was very, very surprised, to be very honest. But then you see, that is why he was great. I mean, like, he could feel the pulse, and he could really become a child, with children whenever he visited schools, especially after his presidency. So, hearty welcome to all three of you. And I'll begin with Dr. Anant Sinha with Madhukar, your permission. Of course, Manish, I won't take your permission because you are today the pancha, of the panelists over here.
Sir, you don't have to take anyone's permission, sir. You are our senior, a very esteemed senior, a
Thank you.
member of the school team. I remember very clearly. So please go ahead. We are at your disposal entirely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Madhukar. All right. So, Dr. Anand. Anand, let's go back. When did you join St. Michael's? In which class, actually?
1974 in class 7th.
Okay.
Previous to that, I was in Gaya in Nazrat Academy.
Uh-huh.
Dad got posted to Patna and we moved along with him.
Yes. Nazareth Academy was also a very fantastic school.
It was.
Yeah, because I visited that school, and I'm sure Father Harland was your principal when you were admitted.
Yes. And I have an interesting story about Father Harland.
Yes, please go ahead.
He had only 2 seats for class 7th. And we had to appear for an entrance examination. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, I was 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a perfect maths paper. So he called my dad and said, there were only 2 seats, but this guy has scored a perfect 100 in maths. So I'm going to gamble on him. I'm going to retain him.
Wow.
And take him in. Well, in the long run, I have not proved him wrong.
Yes, and that's it. Yeah, in the long run, the rest was history. Okay. Right. Great. Lovely. And of course, memories, of St. Michael's, particularly in the realm of sports and co-curricular activities, and then academics, yes, and memories with your teachers. Then we'll move on to some lovely memories with your friends. And both of you belong to 1977 batch, which means we had another incredible Michaelite from 1977 batch who still retains that naughty twinkle in his eyes, And I said, yes, you know who I'm referring to. Yes. So, right. So just go down memory lane and talk about, how the developmental aspect of your personality through co-curriculars, through, academics, the teachers, because we all remain very indebted to our teachers, especially in such a good school as St. Michael's. And then, of course, St. Michael's also taught us, to also experience some teachers whom we did not like. All right. But then how to handle that also is another very important aspect, all right, of growth. So over to you, Anand.
We'll start with the sports.
Yeah.
I moved in. I could bowl a little bit. I was very weak link with just about 48 kilos.
Were you a spinner?
No. I used to use the seam bowling.
Oh, lovely.
I can't call myself a fast bowler till I went to AFMC. But then the man called Jeff DeCosta, he saw talent in me. He kept encouraging me. 7th, 8th, we only played the intramurals. 9th, I tried to get into the school team, but could not make it initially. Samir Sahu was there heading the fast bowling department, one my senior to us. Sushil Ojha was the captain. But then I somehow got a break on Jeff DeCosta's insistence, give this guy a chance. I did not look back, sir.
Lovely.
I opened the bowling right through after that. I could really swing the ball, move the ball both ways. And 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th also, till we came for the examination. I played, in fact, took 100 wickets for the school. But it's not only just taking the wickets. The way we planned it out, one of the matches, if I remember, I think Javed mentioned that also, that we had bowled Xavier's out for 38 runs in one of the innings, and we had a ball of a time. It splashed all over the local newspaper that Michael's thrashed Xavier's by about 50 or 60 runs. So they planned a return match with a thing called Tony Lamba 11. All the stars were there.
Yes.
We were playing against them. We had them 18 for 5. Then Sunil Singh, the man who captained Bihar also after that, kept slogging us all off. When everything got over, I came to Jeff DeCosta. Where did we go wrong? Well, you never went wrong. There were 2 umpires. One of them was theirs and one of them was ours. You were bowling from their umpire's end, and he could put his pads out and swing you hard because he knew he would not be given the LBW out. So then I told him in the break, why didn't you tell us? No, this was a friendly match. It's better to learn it the harder way than the softer way if I would have told you before the match.
Yeah.
It
Lovely.
stuck on. Believe me, it really stuck on from that time onwards. And then in 11th, once I had put my sights completely that I'm going to become a doctor. So till 11th, we had maths compulsory, and then we had optional. And by the time I had become the school president, so I needed some time also to do all my activities in the school. So I stopped attending the maths classes. So Mr. P.S. Raj asked me what happened, what went wrong. I was his favorite because Madhukar also knows I was pretty good in mathematics. So
Yeah.
I said, sir, I have to pick up bio in future. I would rather put my focus on physics, chemistry, and bio than on mathematics. He said, I'm going to come home. He came home and told my dad only one thing. He is in a place where there are facilities. Let him enjoy all the facilities till he leaves the school. Ask him to just come for the classes. He may not go back home and study, but he should not omit any of the facilities that has been offered to him in the school. That also was a part which I keep telling my son also these days. If you are in a particular institute and things are being offered to you, go ahead. In this instance, I carried to AFMC days also when we were having an inter-batch tournament, and like we were doing pretty well in the sport, but the girls were lagging behind the salad dressing. So they said one more entry. I said, I'm going to enter as salad dressing, even if I lose. And believe me, I came third in that.
Excellent.
So we got some points. So all these smaller things add up to you. Same thing if Madhukar also remembers, 7th, I was trying my hand at elocution. Used to choose 2 from every class. I was rejected. 8th, again, I was very happy that I'm going to go further up. Again, rejected. 9th, Mr. Mishra pushed me in the Hindi part. Yes, he can go. Before the finals also, in the semi-finals, I was thrown out. But then, Madhukar knows 10th, 11th, 12th was a clean sweep for me. Hindi elocution, Hindi debates also, wherever we participated, beat everybody, all the schools around us. So the idea was nobody asked you to give up in school. That's the essence of a good school.
Yeah.
In today's world, what happens if you don't do well for 2 years, then the parents are called, this guy is not good for these things. Either withdraw him from the school or put in some other stream, let him go for drawing or something of that sort. Mr. Mishra, he was a hardcore Hindi loyalist. Always talk anti-English. अंग्रेजों ने बर्बाद कर दिया हमारे हिंदी को सब कुछ. But still, he was a wonderful teacher. I still read Hindi literature whenever I get a chance. And hats off to the school for all these small things, which really guide you and shape you for the future.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Anand. And could you talk about some of your friends, please? And particularly the guy with the twinkle in his eyes. And of course, Madhukar is there with you. And he has vouchsafed, he has actually...
The man with the twinkle in his eyes is a big man now.
Yes, obviously, yes.
Well, for everybody listening to all of us here, he is none other than Rudy himself. He still remains a small child. Well, I was not very close to Rudy in school as such because we had different versions of the school altogether. But yes, terrific guy. We had a camp in 8th standard. I think Madhukar had not gone for the camp. We were about 19 of us. We had gone to the Digha village across the third field. If you remember the old hockey field.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 priests accompanying us, would not name them. And they had a tough time with Rudy. I don't know how he could manage to undo their pajamas and maybe throw small pebbles at them. But then morning shows the day, we knew that Rudy is bound to lead. And he is now leading.
Excellent.
Otherwise, sir, we were not that bad in a class. We were naughty, but we were not obnoxious by any standards.
Not at all. These were very innocent and boyish pranks. And without these pranks, no point in... it's something that's a part of your life when you're growing up in the school. Yeah, very true.
One more instance, sir. We had a teacher in physics called Father Mani Munda Thanam. He would, I know, maybe he knew a lot of physics, but he could not teach us physics. So every time he would come into the class, there used to be severe noise. And I was 8B and I was the class monitor in 8B. And we had a movie called 5 Rifles at that time. That was the big song, Jhoom, 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 Barabar, Jhoom.
Jhoom, Barabar, Jhoom, Sharabi, yes.
So one day, Father Mani just came in the class and he says, when Atom Boom is released, So people now labeled him as a boom.
Yeah.
Before he could enter the class, the whole class would sing 8, B, and C. Boom, 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 boom. And the moment you enter the class, there would be pin drop silence.
Exactly.
You would hit the board, there would be boom, boom.
Again,
Turn
yes.
around, there would be
Yeah,
silence.
yeah.
He got fed up. He says, "Who is the monitor?" I said, "I am the monitor. Come out." Took him to the principal's office. Fortunately, he was out of his office. Then he made me sit there. Either you give me 5 names of people who are creating nuisance, or you go out of the school. So I literally shat. So I gave him 5 names. But the beauty of these things were, those 5 guys, Madhukar, Abhay, Sashi, they were the real rascals of the class. None of them came and threatened me. Just put an arm around me. Yeah, we understand your situation. तेरे को दबाया गया है, तूने नाम दे दिया है, चल देखते हैं जो होगा,
चलो अच्छा
होगा.
किया.
But Father Haaland was quite kind that way. He said, okay, 2 of you go to 8A, 2 of you go to 8C. So the thing was that even if your friends who were not so good with you, but they tolerated you, नहीं ठीक है, pressure में इसने किया है, let's not hit him or do anything to him.
Yes, very true, very true. In fact, Father Haaland, Father Murphy, and then, much later, Father Augustine had this quality that, they could understand the limitations of their colleague teachers as well. And without insulting them and understanding their limitations, they could understand why maybe a boy called Anant or a boy called Madhukar has, maybe done this, or the class has done this. And that's why, they could understand this. They knew this adolescent management so beautifully. Adolescent resource management, I would call that. And, that was the forte. Very true.
Half a minute. Once I became the president, I went to his office. Tell me something that you want me to do as the student council president, because we had 3 turmoil years before that. People had become president. We remember Jitendra Singh was the president. Something went wrong. The whole assembly was dissolved. The council was dissolved. So he said, I just want the school to be full of activities. And I had a personal power of rupees 150 to be sanctioned to any class representative. That was more than enough to pay for the judges and to buy the small cups. They used to come for about 7-8 rupees that time.
Yes.
And I was very happy that every class had an inter-school debate. Class 6, 7th, 8th, 5th, 4th, and had some good class monitors that time. There was one thing you learned, that got to keep everybody moving in the school. Should be active. Something must be going wrong. Studies, of course, everybody had to come to study also. As many qualities you could sharpen while you were in school was the main aim of the school.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Anand, for those wonderful memories. Excellent. Yes. Now I move on to Madhukar. So Madhukar, you belong to the same batch, all right, as Anand. All right. So I'm sure you have some similar memories, but then something very unique. Some of the teachers you would like to recall very fondly, and of course your principal, because you see, principals also, in their own way, they just hand down a certain legacy, and that legacy actually works a long way, goes a long way in shaping, not only our personality, but how we are going to look at certain issues, certain problems, certain crises later on in life, in our various organizations. So over to you, Madhukar, please.
So my memories start from 1971. I came to the school from St. Xavier's. I came a little late because the school session had started, and I joined about 15 to 20 days later. And the section allotted to me was 4C, which was actually the green room behind the stage. And the first day itself, when I reached there, since I did not have the books, I was thrown out of class, and I was standing outside the class, and I said, my God, what a place I've come to. That dark place behind the stage, and of course, the classroom was the green room.
Yeah.
But then that was perhaps the only day I hated St. Michael's. Ever since then, I have nothing but a whole lot of love for St. Michael's. I remember my last day in school, officially, the day I was leaving the school. I looked back and I had a tear in my eye, thinking about, my God, I've spent so much time here, and I am now leaving the school, I entered like a baby, and now I'm going perhaps as a young man. And a whole lot of memories came flooding to me. Those memories included friends that I had made, teachers who had been kind to me, teachers who had been unkind to me. I had a kind of I was not so much of a rowdy. I was not a rowdy at all. In fact, I was quite a conformist. But I have had a bit of a problem that I've very easily been misunderstood, perhaps because of the way I speak or because of the way I look. I don't know what. So one day I remember in my 11th standard, now these are some of the memories that I have, that Father Harland asked somebody what that in a class. He used to take the character classes with the +2 students. So he was in the class and he asked somebody what that person was thinking. And so he said, in fact, I remember who it was. It was Uday Prasad, my classmate. And he said, Uday, what are you thinking? So Uday said, nothing, Father. So he said, don't insult my intelligence. You can say, Father, it's none of your business, but don't say you're not thinking anything. And so then he looked at me and he said, Madhukar, what are you thinking? So I said, Father, it's none of your business. And I guess he hated me for that because he just did not like it. For all his generosity and his this thing, he didn't like being laughed at. It took me about a year of hardcore conformism and being absolutely upright to get back into his good books. So he had a few nice things to say to me when I passed out. Memories, sir, 1971 to 1980, anything, my memories. The man with the twinkle in the eye taught me everything that was not to be taught in school. Remains a good friend. Amongst my closest friends, I count Asad, who's doing so well in Washington, Anant, then Dr. Sanjay Sinha, who's in the UK. He's a surgeon by profession. From my class, that is these. Then, of course, Rear Admiral Rajesh Singh, who's in the Indian Navy, at a very important place. He is looking at the building of the new harbor near, the new port near Visakhapatnam, and things like that. So yes, these people have remained close for a long time. And Ranjanesh Sahai, who was here in The Incredible Mike Light, he is a fellow railway man, albeit a year senior to me now, and he never forgets to rub that in. So I tell him that he would retire before I do, and that is the time when I laugh at him. So all those things. So school is incredible, and of course, those young ladies that I grew fond of, who have now become mothers and of course grandmothers. And grandmothers, indeed.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of them I have kept in touch with, and they are nice people. But somewhere along the way, I do think that life would have been different if they had not married those oldies and would have gotten along with us much better.
Yes, very true. And quite a few of them belonging to our sister institution.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is another thing, again, I would quote Rudy, that this guy in 7th or 8th standard it was, he used to say that he would always stand up and say, brothers and sisters, except the girl that I would marry. He would make sure that he would exclude that one special person. So I have to tell this story to his wife, Neelam, someday, that right from the beginning, he was very sure that he would never make the mistake of calling his would-be wife a sister.
All right. And were you inspired by, Anand's feats and heroics in co-curricular, that is speeches, elocution, debates, and sports?
Not at all, sir. This guy was much better at cricket, and he beat me at elocution, and I hated him for that. And at the end of it, what used to happen was that I used to think, okay, I'll beat him in academics, and he ended up with exactly the same number of points in both ICSE and ISC. So I hated him for that all this while. No inspiration at all. He did not take. He was not inspired by me. I was not inspired by him.
You see, yeah, but then you see, Anand's inspiration, was happening within you rather inadvertently. There
Could
was
be, yes.
there was an incredible Mike Light, Arun Singh, Arvind's elder brother.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
always looked up to him, but I never never overtly liked him because he would sweep away everything.
Yes.
Everything. I mean, like anything in debates, anything in dramatics, anything with elocution. Okay. I said, my God, it's impossible. All right. So I gave it up. Unlike Anand, I gave it up. Okay. And I focused more on cricket and tennis. Okay. And then I learned table tennis. All right. During the maths class, I had a similar incident. Okay. So, but then I realized that, I was watching him and I was actually inadvertently emulating a number of things and the styles in which he spoke and so on. All right. So, Anand, this is for you, a compliment to you, because Madhukar speaks so well, and definitely you are responsible as well for that.
But there is one small point that I would like to make. So I was the president of the GK Cup. I became the president in the 10th standard, continued till the 12th standard.
Yeah.
And those 3 years, we never lost even a single quiz all over Patna.
Yes, yes.
That's why,
City,
exactly. That's why
quizzes at that
UPSC. That's why UPSC.
That's an understatement. We beat everybody hands down. Not only lost. We beat everybody hands down with a huge
Oh,
margin.
of course. He's still very handsome. And if somebody had a twinkle in his eyes, he had that boyishness in his smile. Even now. Okay. So thank you, Madhukar. Thank you so much for these, wonderful and very, very pleasant memories. In fact, we went down memory lane with laughter and smiles. Thank you. Yes, now we come to, well, as I said, the Bacha of today's panelist, but then the Bacha who has performed incredible feats. Yes,
Sir.
Dr. Manish Mandal. Manish,
Sir.
so in what way would you regard St. Michael's as a major contributor towards the development of your personality, maybe the choice of your career, maybe the way you manage your warriors, especially during Corona times, all right, your professionals and everybody, right from doctors down to those ward boys. I mean, like, they're all doing a very heroic job. Over to you, Manish. All about
Yes, sir.
St. Michael's from the perspective of Dr. Manish Mandal.
I joined St. Michael's in 1981. 80. That was started third because 1 and 2 was in Notre Dame that time. St. Michael's started with
sister
third.
institution, okay? So you decided it's good
yeah.
to leave that school, sister institution, soon. Well, I know
So
you had no
what-
choice. You had no choice.
Yeah. So first, second was at Notre Dame. Third, standard 80 and 80 was St. Michael's. I joined in St. Michael's, and that time my class teacher in 3A was Judy Cowell. So
Very good.
she was my first class teacher
Yeah.
in St. Michael's.
Hmm.
Then we moved to standard fourth. In fourth, we had to shift for Sanskrit and Urdu.
Mm-hmm.
So A section was for Urdu, and B and all were for Sanskrit. So I was shifted to B.
Okay.
We continued there.
So who taught
we
you
had
Sanskrit then? Who taught you Sanskrit?
Dr. Simon Anthony. sir was
Simon
there.
and Mr.
Simon Anthony.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. So we had fond memories. It was a new language for me. Never I had gone through that, words and all. So it was interesting. And he created interest in Sanskrit.
Great.
He used to tell ki, if you get marks, it's like maths. So you try and you get marks. So that was a challenging time as a student, as a bacha of that time. Then things involved. We went to standard 5th, and then came standard 6th, where we met Mrs. Andy Costa as our teacher, Rocky De Costa as our history teacher. Andy Costa used to teach us about English, and Rocky sir would civics and history was taught by them.
Yeah.
And she was a very tough lady. Whatever English we could gather at the basic level was because of Mrs. Andy Costa. And her cuts were very famous. If you don't perform, you get cuts. Yeah. So that was the biggest challenge for all of us, my whole batch. We were taken away fully by her, and that taught us, how to improve ourselves. And just Rocky DeCosta sir was very good at the civics. He taught us every legislation and everything very perfectly. Then came standard 8, and that was Henry Francis sir, whose punchline was "पानी की तरह पी जाओ, चटनी की तरह चाट जाओ," and that
Yes.
hit us, because by 8 we had to improve Hindi, because final, that is 10th Hindi, used to lag behind the marks. So he was a person who insisted us on grammar part, and his punchline is still fresh in my mind. That is "पानी की तरह पी जाओ, चटनी की तरह चाट जाओ." Then came final bowling, that is standard 10th, and you were our teacher. Fortunately, English was taught by you in my only section only. Other two sections have different teacher, but you taught us English in that 10A section. So then was the major role of our K.N. Mishra sir. My Hindi was very poor in spite of all efforts by Henry Francis. Then Mishra sir called me and he told कि बेटा लाइफ में कुछ भी करना है तो लैंग्वेज पे कमांड तो चाहिए ही चाहिए, हिंदी हो चाहे इंग्लिश, as others told,
भाषा अच्छी
that
होनी चाहिए.
भाषा अच्छी होनी चाहिए, and that clicked, and I used to score somewhere around 50 to 1600. In the final, in 10th, I scored 78. Very unusual for me also. He told that तुम्हारा कॉपी दोबारा चेक करना पड़ेगा. इतना इम्प्रूवमेंट कैसे हो गया? But that helped me a lot. In IGMS, I am spokesperson of institute for last 10 years, and I have to give press briefing every day, and that also mostly in Hindi. So whatever Hindi I have delivered, in as a spokesperson, is because of him.
Very true. Very true.
Very incredible. And the most important thing which I realized in life is punctuality and sincerity. अगर आप punctual हो, अगर आप sincere हो, hardworking हो, so nothing is difficult. This helped me, when I went in my BBS, the first year was very tough. I was at a very different place. I went to Karnataka that time, and different language, different society, different environment, and then to survive in that environment and learn, as our Anand sir would say, first year is the most difficult for us because it's a language is there,
Yeah.
but the most important thing is subject is very vast. So consistent effort and punctuality was there in me from St. Michael's. I used to get up at 5, be ready at 6, 6 to 8. In my college was used to start at 8:30. So 6 to 8, I used to study in the morning for my classes. So by the time I reach my class, I know what has to be taught. And very soon I became favorite of all, in spite of being from different place. And I decided to be a surgeon. There also, sincerity and punctuality is the most important thing. So it sailed out me in surgery. Then, as luck would have it, I was chosen to be an administrator as well at IGIMS. I didn't want to be an administrator, but my director that time forced me that you have to become the superintendent because we want a young people to lead the things and who has collaborated with everybody. So in 2017, I became the youngest medical student all over state, even all over India in any government medical college, youngest. So it was a challenge. So I divided my time in two parts. First part was my totally clinical part as a surgeon. A second part was my administrative part. So practically, I'm working 8 to 8 every day. 8 in the morning, I leave. 8 night, I'd come back.
Yeah.
So punctuality is the most important thing, and school is always school. Everybody has memories, either good or bad. I have very good memories with all teachers, all my colleagues, and very fortunate that 40 of our batchmates are still in Patna. And all 40 have a get together, especially in the Corona phase. We had a webinar of our own batch, to correcting people, because everybody was, trying hard to stay healthy. And I used to guide them on webinar how to do things. So it was good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Manish. Thank you so much. So there you are. So here were incredible Mike Lights, three of them paying their tribute to their alma mater, St. Michael's. And yet, Dr. Anand, you would be very surprised. I mean, in fact, you would recall Mr. K.N. Mishra, despite his, very, pure Kapal Chandani ki chanchalta, all right? I mean, that Anupras Alankar and so on. He was one of those Hindi teachers, along with Mr. Paul Das, as well as Mr. Henry Francis, and even Mr. Simon Anthony, who, whatever limited communication they did in English, they had proper diction, proper pronunciation. I mean, this was something remarkable about, these three of our, Hindi teachers and Sanskrit teacher. So that's what remarkable. I mean, that was, in fact, there were many instructions that Mr. Mishra would give in English. And sometimes when he would get angry, all right, well, English, then he would get stuck. Yes, Madhukar.
Since Manish was mentioning a few things, I will just take four terms that our teachers used. For example, Mr. Simon Anthony, when you said something, he would look very seriously and said, "Mazak karta hai." So that was one thing that he used to say. Mr. Paul V. Das, everybody would remember, "Yeah, बैलों का समूह बना के रखा है." And then Mr. K.N. Mishra. Mr. K.N. Mishra. Again, it was the receiving person. The person on the receiving end was Rudy. He said something which was a little untoward. So he said, "Rudy, आप क्लास में सीमा का मर्यादा का सीमोल्लंघन नहीं करेंगे." I still remember that, and I have used this epithet so frequently on so many people. मर्यादा का सीमोल्लंघन नहीं होना चाहिए. And Mr. Henry Francis, 39.5 पर लटका दूंगा, फादर प्रिंसिपल भी पास नहीं करा पाएंगे.
Very true. Well, wonderful.
One more thing, Amar sir. There was a teacher of music, Richard.
Okay, yes, music teacher, yes.
Music teacher.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's no more.
I was very bad at singing, very bad in music. And when I went in, medicals, तो ragging वहां हो रहा था. Ragging में बोला गाना सुनाओ. And all of a sudden, there was a blank in my mind. And then they told, "You are from Bihar. Regional folk song होना चाहिए." अब still difficult. एक तो गाना difficult. उस पर regional folk song. Then there was a very good song which he was favorite for him. खेलल बा बगिया कूके कोयलिया, आइले बसंत ऋतु राज.
Yes.
And that clicked. And that became so favorite for all in the south. Everybody used to call me, "Bhai, wo gana gao tum." And it was very, very easy for me.
Wonderful.
चार लाइन गाओ और राइटिंग से बाहर आ जाओ.
Yes, that's it. So you see, incredible Mike Lights become very popular outside, everywhere in India and abroad, because, well, they are Mike Lights. That's a very important thing. Okay, thank you very much. And now, as I say, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to all of you. Over to you, Nishant.
Fantastic. This was actually the best incredible Michaelites Adda we ever had. What a variety of, conversations we had. Fantastic. So St. Michael's is known for, because every batch meets their respective classmates so often. I don't think any school in India would have such intimate, this thing. Fantastic. So coming towards the last part of it, we will just go to everyone for a one-liner on Incredible Michaelite and the Alumni Association on a whole. So I'll start with Madhukar Bhaiya. Your one line on the incredible Mike Light and the Alumni Association on the whole, please.
Proud to be a Michaelite. Will always be proud of being a Michaelite. And I would say that this was the best thing that happened to me in my life.
Yes, Anand Bhaiya.
The first line is what Madhukar said. I echo that. Second thing is, I still believe in the motto for God and country. It's a very simple motto, but you will just have to follow that. That's more than enough. And I believe Michael's gave the right platform to jump up in life. Yes. And some terrific friends. One of them is there on your panel.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Yes, Manish Bhaiya.
फाइटिंग स्पिरिट गिरते हैं से सवार मैदान जंग में वो क्या गिरे जो चलते हैं घुटनों के बल. So Michael's teaches, the fighting spirit. We have and we have done, we all have done and we all are doing the best in life because of the fighting spirit.
Fantastic. So this is what St. Michael's is known for. The fighting spirit, the love for each other, and the helpfulness. When we did our first episode, we had a story between Sanjay Singh, who was with the Tata Sons, and Arun Mishra was the DGCA. And we were told that to set up a Vistara Airlines, it would have taken more than a couple of years for doing all the paperwork. But because we had two Michaelites, we had Sanjay Singh from Vistara side and Arun Mishra from DGCA side. It took them 3 months. So that is the power of Michaelites all across. So
Yeah.
fantastic. We'll come to the end of webinar 17. Webinar 18 on 17th of January, we will have Mr. Rajesh Ranjan, ex-DG CISF 1974, Mr. Abhijit Sahai 1978, and Dr. Ravi Kirti 1993. He is the head of Department of General Medicine at the AIIMS Patna. So stay tuned. It's all about incredible Michaelites. And our firm belief is every St. Michael student is an incredible Michaelite. Thank you, Amber sir. Thank you, Madhukar Bhaiya.
Thank you, Nishant, and thank you, Amber sir.
Thank you, Nishant. You lead the way. We are right there behind you.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Amber.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Amber sir, thank you so much. It was wonderful interacting with you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks, Achan.
Bye-bye, sir.
Okay, bye.
Bye.